Since the establishment of formalized conservation education, most professional conservators earn an advanced degree. Today, there are 4 different schools in the United States that offer graduate training in art conservation. To be considered for admission, every student takes courses in fine arts, art history, and chemistry, as these are the core subjects that pertain to the field. In addition to academic work, students must also gain experience under trained supervisors and will work in a conservation facility, such as a museum institution or private studios. Colonial Williamsburg currently hosts 6 interns and fellows at all 3 levels of experience. This includes pre-program interns gaining experience to get into the graduate programs, graduate interns fulfilling a year-long internship as part of their program, and postgraduate fellows gaining experience in building their portfolio for the job market. Today, we will be sharing a bit about ourselves and our experiences that we've had at Colonial Williamsburg.
During my time as an undergrad, I tailored my curriculum towards meeting the requirements for graduate programs by taking chemistry, art history, and studio art courses simultaneously. Doing this helped me build a strong foundation of knowledge that I needed when I became a pre-program intern in conservation. Now, working with my supervisor, Gretchen Gaidas, I am familiarizing myself with different materials through preparing condition reports, photography, housing, and treatments. At Colonial Williamsburg, I can work in different labs and develop skills in analyzing a variety of different materials, researching the history of the objects, and learning about the techniques used to create them.
During the past 3 years, I've accumulated roughly 2,500 hours of experience working in various internships. As I've gained more experience, I've been able to work on more complex treatments during each successive internship. Supervisors closely mentor their interns to choose projects that are appropriate for their interest, experience, and skill level. Another important aspect of conservation is public outreach. This past fall, I worked with my supervisor, Chris Swan, on a gilding treatment in the Art Museum gallery in front of the public. This was a good opportunity for us to educate and interact with museum guests and share a bit about what we do as conservators.
I have interned in the paper lab under supervision of senior paper conservator Pamela Young for 2 years. While assisting with treatments, I encountered the need to understand the historic papermaking process. In order to fully understand the historic technique, I made an 18th century reproduction paper mold with the help of Colonial Williamsburg staff. The research required for a reproduction allowed me to better understand the material I was working with in the lab and provided opportunities to practice hand skills while utilizing machine and hand tools. I was recently accepted into the SUNY Buffalo State Master's Program. To interview for admission, I had to prepare a 20-minute presentation, a treatment portfolio, and an art portfolio. I included the reproduction in my art portfolio.
Hi, my name is Perrine Lasso. I work in the paper conservation department under the supervision of Pamela Young. For my first 2 years of school, I was taking classes in Buffalo and gaining experience from the faculty and working on conservation treatments. In both years at school, we take science courses and imaging courses so that we have a diverse understanding of different ways of doing documentation, technical analysis, and research that we might encounter in our careers. The first year, all students take courses in all areas of conservation and do at least one treatment in each of the specialties. This broad education helps me to be more aware of different areas of conservation and to be more well-informed about a variety of materials. In our second year, we choose a specialty. We focus our research and treatment on materials we'll encounter in our field. In our last year, we do a full year internship, which led me to Colonial Williamsburg. I love the collection that we have here, and I love being so intimate with the artwork that's helped to shape our country's history. I also like the projects that Pamela Young and the curators are letting me work on. They've really touched on areas that I was interested in school and things I wanted to explore further, such as objects with friable media, like pastels or chalk drawings on paper. As a third-year intern, I've taken everything that I've learned at school and I'm applying it to the work I do here. I'm in constant discussion with my supervisor about treatment steps, but I also have all the resources available to me through my school, but also that we have here at Colonial Williamsburg. I do spend a lot of time referring back to my notes though. As an intern, I'm here to learn and expand my portfolio so that I'm more prepared to go out into the job market. I'm really grateful for my internship here. I work with so many talented and lovely people. CW has offered me so many great opportunities to really grow my portfolio, and I have a lot of fun doing it too.
Hello, my name is Kasia Baluk, and I'm a postgraduate fellow here in the Objects Conservation Lab at Colonial Williamsburg Foundation. I work under the supervision of conservator Tina Gessler and assistant conservator Leslie Meerling. I got my undergraduate degree in conservation studies with a minor in art history from Marist College in a joint program with Scuola Lorenzo de' Medici in Florence, Italy. There I focused on paintings and polychrome sculpture, but I also gained firsthand experience with frescoes and archaeological ceramics. Then, after graduating from there, gaining a few years of pre-program experience, I went to the WoodPAC program, the Winterthur University of Delaware program in art conservation. And there I specialized in objects, and here I am. Objects is a broad specialization, and that's part of why I chose it. There's always something new and different to treat, and therefore to learn about. Here at CW, I've treated primarily metals and ceramics, but I'm also always ready to treat glass and some organic materials such as leather, wood, and basketry. And of course, there are always objects that are of many mixed media, such as these dolls. And this is the one that I will be treating. And mostly it just needs to be cleaned up a little bit, but the head is porcelain, the body is a composite material that is usually, at least according to collectors, a sawdust and glue pressed into a form with like a wire sort of skeleton keeping it together. And then of course the textile clothes. And this other doll actually has hair, which should be real hair. And these are just interesting things that I have to consider. CW is great because of its collaboration, or the opportunities for collaboration here. In this case, because there's such a large textile component of this doll, I may consult with the textiles conservator here, and that's very easy to do. She's just down the hall. Curators as well, for the most part, work in the same building and are more than happy to step by and advise anytime that it's requested. The historic tradespeople here especially represent something that's unique to CW. If I have a question about how a collection object may have been made or repaired, I can ask a real live person who works with that material on a daily basis.
Hi everyone, my name is Elizabeth Robeson and I'm currently a postgraduate fellow in paintings conservation at Colonial Williamsburg, where I work under senior conservator Shelley Svoboda. Previously, I received a Bachelor of Arts from Colgate University, which involved a double major in French and art history. I then studied chemistry at several schools in southeastern Virginia while I was a pre-program intern here at CW as well. During that time, I worked in the archaeology, objects, and furniture conservation labs, gaining as much experience as I could in a variety of specialties before being accepted at Buffalo, and eventually choosing to major in paintings. I had loved studying paintings in my art history classes, but I really valued the opportunity to examine and understand them as three-dimensional objects, which I was able to do through conservation. CW was instrumental in my acceptance at Buffalo State. The conservators I worked with here pre-program really supported me in constructing a strong portfolio and practicing my presentation before my interview. Now as a postgrad fellow, I'm continuing to expand my experience in paintings conservation by helping the lab continue to output a high number and caliber of treatments. As I continue my internship, this will include more in-depth work like structural treatments. I will be helping with a relining in the coming months, as well as unstretching and edge lining one of the largest paintings in the collection. My goal at this point in my career is to obtain further fellowships or eventually a permanent position at an institution as an assistant conservator. I also want to prepare myself to possibly work in private practice in the future by treating a wide variety of paintings, learning how to source materials, and being able to estimate how much time a treatment will take, which are really important skills in the private sector. Right now I'm working on a surface cleaning and varnish removal. I have recently completed several in-painting projects, and when I first arrived, I worked on 3 paintings on plywood doors, which was something new for me.
We would like to thank everyone at Colonial Williamsburg for helping us on our journey into art conservation. For more information about conservation at CW, please visit our website. For more general information about art conservation, please visit the American Institute for Conservation's website.